Good afternoon, all you beautiful people. Welcome to another Painted Dog Pack Safari. It's very kindly sponsored by the pack themselves on the lovely Rietspruit Game Reserve. We're going out this afternoon. I thought we'd head out in search of the Cheetah brothers, who we had probably the best sighting I have ever had of the cheetahs the other day with Gareth whilst he was guiding. It was ridiculous, folks. It was absolutely mind-boggling. Now, I just want to open YouTube so I can say a very good afternoon to our lovely pack members. All right, just loading. But I hope everyone's having a fantastic afternoon. Now, this afternoon's going to be a bit different. We can't go check out the normal usual crypts and places where we know things like to hide. That zone has unfortunately been, well, that block has been zoned, unfortunately. I don't know if they're doing maintenance on the fence line or whatnot, but I don't know why it's not giving me the chat, Basil. Do you possibly know how to get that? That's all good. I have several times. Oh, I just got bounced off TeamSpeak as well. I will say good afternoon to all the lovely pack members. I do apologize. I am having technical difficulties. Technology is not my best friend. And it's okay, because the feeling's mutual. I have a firm love-hate relationship when it comes to technology. When it comes to maps and software and technology to monitor animals, absolutely brilliant. When it comes to technology in terms of network, working, Wi-Fi, communications, no. We are not friends. All right, let's try this again. It's very strange. All right, so I got the video up, but now quality. Vim, do you know how to bring up the comments? I don't know if I'm not being silly here. It's literally just not popping up, and every time I say open in the app, it doesn't open. Very weird. Sorry, everyone. Having some proper YouTube technical difficulties this afternoon, but the Cheetah brothers were reported on the fence line this morning. However, unfortunately, Block 4, Hayes, the airstrip, the southern fence line at the Blowbunk gate, that's all Zone 4, so we unfortunately cannot go there. But it's okay, it means we get to go explore other beautiful areas of the Rietspruit. I'm thinking maybe Seacoy Dam, then we can slowly head to Porfada Dam and see what animals come down to the waterholes this afternoon. Bear in mind, we'll still look for tracks, because there are cheetah tracks going both ways. So my sneaky gut suspicion is that the cheetahs went back that way, which is unfortunate because that's the block that's been zoned. But you never know. I did see a couple of tracks that looked pretty decent going east as well. Now I've just spotted the first animal of the afternoon if it decides to stay there. Basil, do you see that rock-like thing? That is a duiker. How beautiful is that? It's quite nice. It's like a frame within a frame. Rather chilled duiker. Normally they are quite skittish. Now the name duiker refers to, it's actually quite funny. So duiker is an Afrikaans word, and duiker basically directly translated into English is diver. Now when a duiker is running away from, say, a predator or people, oh, it's just the wind. When they're running away from things, the way they jump as they run off, it's almost diving off a swimming board, hence the name duiker, diver. And I think they're such gorgeous small antelope. Part of the dwarf antelope family, and you can see it looks like they've got a bit of a mohawk to them. Always find that quite fascinating. Absolutely gorgeous afternoon though. The temperature is perfect. There's a tiny slight cool breeze, but it's not freezing cold, and the cloud cover has completely dissipated, which I'm very grateful for. I know VM, who's back at Hayson FC with Joe, would disagree with me, but I very much do prefer it when the temperature is bearable and not freezing cold. Now, duiker normally pair for life. They are monogamous, but I don't, either this is still quite a young duiker who hasn't found a mate yet, or it has unfortunately lost its partner. I'm not quite sure. He has wandered off. Oh! That was a nice little start to the afternoon. Are you having any luck there? Nothing. Can you try click the link with your phone? Or the TeamSpeak phone? Sorry, bro. Because I need to. I don't know what is happening with the YouTubes, but if there are any questions in the comments, I promise I will get to them in a second. I am trying to resort to another plan here. Huh? Well, you know what I'll do is I've got a plan here. Let's see if this one works.
Chris, leaving the lock of the Elephant Herd, they're now heading north and west from South towards Lemon Northern.
Okay, copy that. Thanks, Joe. In the meantime, I do need to somehow get these shots. Send it to the painted dog. Right. Just give me a second. Sorry everyone, I do apologize. This is not how I plan to start my afternoon safari. But it is okay. We shall make progress shortly and hopefully find all the lovely critters. Alright, sent it to painted dog. You get it? Okay. Right. In the meantime, while Basil, my trusted partner in crime, attends to that in the meantime, I need to kind of keep my eyes on the road. It's kind of hard to look for animals. Oh, Basil, you champion. If you need to reconnect to TeamSpeak, just let me know and I will. Okay. Thank you, sir. I don't know what's popping with my phone. All right, let's say hello to our beautiful pack members finally. Thank you, Basil, you IQ Genius 2000. Hello, Mary, Barbara, Jennifer, Ariana, Betty, Brian, Carol, Rosemary, Ula, Connie, and Alex. I hope you are all doing phenomenally well.
Station, single white rhino Poole, and south, heading south, just south.
There's lots of human footprints on the road of this side of the reserve. Very interesting. Don't know if someone was maybe tracking. I'm sure that's what those tracks are. All right, well, this afternoon, and I'll get to my cheetah story in a second. This afternoon, I was hoping to find the cheetah brothers, but unfortunately, like I was saying, I think my gut is right in saying that they headed west towards Hayes. I'm just gonna hop off here and quickly have a look at these. No. The back looked awfully slender, so I thought we may have just gotten lucky and seen fresh cheetah tracks, but it's beeth an impala. Yeah, it beeth an impala. So, in terms of finding everything else, I think we should go for the elephants. Hopefully go spend some time with them. They have been found, but they're getting close to the block where we technically have no entry. And then towards the end of drive, we'll go check on the doggos as well, just because that's cutting the borderline of that zoned block. But this side of the reserve we're on, I have personally seen an absolutely monstrous leopard. I'm not sure if it is the blowbunk male. Very well could be. We know for a fact he covers a lot of ground consistently throughout the whole reserve. He's all over the place. And he even detours out our main gate and down the tar road itself. What is this? Oh wow. There's an Inyala. How beautiful is that? Stunning bull Inyala. It's going off into the bush. Let's see if we can sneak down quietly. Alright. So just coming in nice and slow, nice and quiet. There he is. How beautiful is that? The white tips of the horns. Absolutely gorgeous bull. Love their brown socks. And it's incredible how well they actually blend in when they're in thicket, especially like sickle bush or riverine forest. They tend to camouflage quite well, I might say. Also, when it walks behind a bush like that, camouflages quite well. All right. Now, speaking of Inyala and cheetah, so it wasn't yesterday, eh? It was the day before. My memory is, I have the memory of a goldfish, folks, so bear in mind. But we went out in search of said cheetah brothers, Gareth and myself. And Joe was on the back with us. Joe's actually currently in FC with Vim at the moment. We've got the wonderful Basil on camera. And yes, to the ladies from the last private drive, I have gone mobile. It's done. It's been done. We didn't forget this time. which is fabulous. Quite impressed myself, might I add. Okay, now I'm going to look like a real technology idiot here. Can you? Aha! Look at that. Your mom's over on the public chat, Andrew. Oh, I shall send her a link. I don't think she really comments on YouTube though, but I'll send her a link now. Thank you for letting me know, Mary. Let's just do that. Apologies, everyone. Now, I am very excited to try and relocate these ellies.
This white rhino bull still sitting south from Bushcraft South now, south of the Cessroy Link.
Cessroy Link. Sure, that's quite far. So they've just called in a white rhino bull, completely on the other side of the reserve, but I'm hoping we'll still bump into one or two this afternoon. So I'm not even exactly sure where our lions are. Our lions have been playing hard to get lately, and we tried tracking them this morning. It didn't really have much luck, so I think I'm going to head to the inside of the reserve, get off this fence line, and maybe we head towards Kudu Krip. I must just double check. It's too late. We accidentally drove over the track. Oh no. And I don't see any more. It's not good. Probably very old tracks then. If there's only one single track and you can't see any more in front or behind, oftentimes it means someone's either driven over it or they've just been completely windswept to the point where you can't even make out the track. Those cheetah tracks we were following were fresh, but they were probably from this morning. Well done going mobile. Thank you, Mary. I appreciate that. For the first time in forever. Oh, what a beautiful afternoon. I'm in a very positive mood. I've got great company with me, all of you beautiful people, and you never know what the bush is going to...
Hello. Any lucky from cheetahs? There, I'm one now. I'll let you know.
Your name's not Andrew, sir. Sammy for Andrew.
Andrew?
Sammy for Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew, any lucky from cheetahs there?
Negative, Sammy. I actually ended up coming up Hoofpad because I thought they were found at Inyala Roosa, but the Nkonzo goes both ways, but I think they've headed back west towards the airstrip. So if you want to go check there, I don't know where the zone cuts off, but that would be my best bet that they've headed west.
Hey, you liar.
Did you copy that, Sammy?
Copy. Thank you.
It's a bit of chaos. Everyone's speaking at once on the radio. It's not good. So Sammy is also in search of the cheetah. Now, going back to my story, whilst we find this next road to take us into the reserve. So, like I said, Gareth and I headed out in search of the cheetah brothers because I had them briefly when I was on drive for 5 minutes or so before they cut off into the block. So Gareth and I decided we are going to go look for cheetah. Oh wow, zebra and kudu, that's awesome. So we got zebra and kudu here. Beautiful light behind them as well. Now you can see that tail going back and forth absolutely crazily. That is basically him just trying to swat at all the flies that are pestering him this afternoon. And oftentimes, speaking of, that's a perfect example right there, how they're standing back to back. They'll actually not intentionally hit each other in the face, but they will stand back to back like that and flick their tails in front of each other's heads to kind of tag team and get rid of the flies out of their face. And if you look closely, they've got these beautiful manes that look like they've been hair dried and pampered, if you will. And that's a really good indicator. If it looks that good, it's a really good indicator that a zebra is healthy. Now, if a zebra was sick or getting sick, you would see that mane start to deteriorate. It would get quite scruffy, flop to the one side. It wouldn't stand up rigid like it normally does. And a lot of the time you'll find zebras have injuries on them. 90% of the time people think, oh my gosh, a lion must have done this. Another predator must have done this. 90% of the time it's actually just another zebra, because zebras have incisors. So funnily enough, I think it's one of the only herbivores, if not the only, to have incisors, and they use that to fight one another for mating rights and territory. Oh, Betty, thank you. It's really good to be here. I'm glad to have been given a second chance. Apologies for the technical difficulties at the start of drive, but hopefully there's no more technical difficulties. That light is just amazing on this zebra to the right here.
Looks like probably from either last night or this morning.
Sorry, Chris, what tracks were those? My radio was down.
Mail line tracks, just come south, heading north. Looked like from last night or this morning.
Copy that, thanks. Alrighty. Radio is very quiet this afternoon.
We followed them from there in the morning, and they went west near a Daken trek. Then they go parallel deep loops heading north. They were hunting, and the tracks didn't pop out
Sorry, everyone.
between crossing. Yeah, so it might be somewhere there or near Mamba side, Pafata side.
Alright, well, there's our plan of action for the afternoon. Sammy had tracks of the lions headed north this morning, and he thinks they're in a certain area, but I think for our own sake, we'll head there and see if we can't pick up any of the tracks and see if we can't find them. Still first going to head to see if we can't maybe just crack the herd of elephants. But like I said, they are moving quite quickly towards that block that's been zoned. So I'm just hoping they stick around long enough for us to get a glimpse. Now, funnily enough, the past 4 nights we've been visited by the whole herd of elephants every night for the past 4 nights, destroying everything. They ripped the borehole out of the ground, they've destroyed pretty much every tree in camp. It's actually ridiculous. But I keep getting distracted. Stop it, Andrew. Going back to the cheetah. So Gareth and I were searching for these cheetah, and then towards the end of drive, we found fresh tracks, and we eventually found them. Oh wow, lovely herd of impala and a zebra that I can tell you this story. And how's that, Basil? So with these cheetah, we had eventually found them towards the end of drive, and they were definitely in stalking mode. You could see them looking in the bush, and they had a squiz at a kudu, and the kudu let off a big bark. And then the cheetah were just disinterested from there, and they carried on. And eventually they were walking straight up to Boskamp, which there is a little watering hole at Boskamp, and we know very well that there's often plains game, Inyala, impala, all hanging about that water hole, closest water source. Lots of good grazing there as well. It's very nice and open, so they can see predators most of the time. But the cheetahs came through the block, and we cut around. And as we cut around, we noticed this cheetah's body language just changed. That tail went down, kind of like a rudder. That head went down, shoulders raised. It was awesome to see. And it slowly started stalking these Inyala. And then it used a termite mound as cover. And it waited, and we waited patiently. And then Gareth saw the head just peek out, and as soon as he said, "Oh, I can see the cheetah again," I thought to myself, this is the day, surely. That thing is so well hidden, like this is surely the day. And lo and behold, this cheetah came flying out of the bush. When I say flying, I mean if you blinked, the cheetah would have been on that side of the reserve type thing. Like, it was moving. And shame, unfortunately for the Inyala, it got caught. But fortunately, a well-deserved meal for the cheetah brothers. I'm sure they got a nice fill with that. It was a female Inyala, quite a young one, quite small still, but big enough for those two boys to fill themselves up and still have quite a lot of meat left on the carcass as well. Now, if you weren't live with us then or want to see that footage, there is a post on all our social platforms, and there will be a YouTube short shortly, no pun intended. Yeah, wow. What a sighting that was. And I was just chuffed to have managed to turn the camera, because I was like shaking. I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna happen. This is going to happen. And sure, got very, very lucky. Although I must say, it is a very, very emotional experience. You know, that was my first kill, and secretly inside I wanted to cry for the Inyala, but also knowing that, you know, to see something from start, like we were following the cheetahs just along the road for 20 minutes before they even started hunting, you know, to see something from complete start to finish, it was, like I said, a very sad but a very happy at the same time kind of experience. And I was very, very grateful that day that we all got to experience it, because we were live. And I mean, it's all thanks to our pack members, you know. If these sponsored pack drives weren't going ahead, well, a lot of the people wouldn't have even seen that or been able to see that. So, you know, just a big thank you to our pack members once again. Now, for all our pack members out there, the key word of the week is claw. So if you aren't a pack member, each week there is a weekly keyword, and if you send in the keyword to info@paintedogtv or the app, you get a high resolution print. Either myself's image or Gareth's or Brent's or Charles or Matt. You get a high resolution print once a week that you are free to do whatever you like with. Whether you want to put it up on your wall, set it as your screensaver.
These two white rhino bulls that just came prep are now fighting.
Oh, okay. Nothing at the dam this afternoon.
Some 2 minutes away.
Let's not drive off a cliff, folks. So very interesting on the radio now. Oh, what a view, eh? What is that in the inlet there, Basil? You see on the left bank there's like a little black stick sticking out. Oh, it is just a stick. All right. So they've just called in on the radio now. There are 3 white rhino at Kudu Krip. I mean, Seskant Krip. And we are quite far from there. What happened, Basil? It's gone. Sorry to be a pain. I know how difficult it is to multitask on the camera, but he's doing a superb job. Now, they've just called in the 3 white rhinos, but the interesting thing is they're fighting apparently. So, did the Ellies knock down the tents? Betty, no, they did not, but they knocked down every tree in between the tents. And all our other trees. Oh my gosh. Folks, look at that. There's a waterbuck. I did not even know we had these on our reserve. My gosh, how amazing is that? Those beautiful white lines. Yeah, now, these guys have a very awesome follow me sign. It's the toilet seat. It looks like they sat on the toilet and got stuck with white paint, but they have a white ring on their bum, on their backside, as a follow me sign, so that when they're running through thicket, the younger antelope or just the rest of the herd can follow them, especially when the bush gets really thick. Now, quite interesting just to see the one by itself. There's the white bum I was speaking of. That is crazy though. Wow. I'm at a loss for words, kind of, everyone. I didn't know we had waterbuck on the reserve. Never seen one here before. Don't know if it's maybe a neighbour's one that decided he wants to explore new ground. Well, she. There's the second one. Don't know if you'll get that, Basil. Both females, it looks like. Yeah, both females. I wonder if there's any males on our reserve. That's very, very interesting. I must actually ask Kevin about that, because, yeah, I'm perplexed. I didn't know we had waterbuck. But quite a nice change of scenery from the usual antelope. Very, very pretty antelope. And they're very fluffy. And in winter especially, when they use that piloerection, which is basically like goosebumps. You know, they look like such a puffy antelope. They look like swollen, kind of like a llama with like a thick sheet of wool around it. Now, waterbuck, you'll usually find they're quite a water-dependent species, so they won't stray too far from a water source. But what amazes me is we come to this water source at least once or twice a week. And I mean, I've personally never seen one. Basil, you haven't seen waterbuck, eh?
I've seen it in Leadwood Dam.
At Leadwood?
Yeah.
What? Crazy.
I think we even had one on a night drive.
I don't recall that. Absolutely beautiful with that golden light shining on the coat there. It's a pity they're in quite thick bush at the moment. This woodland is rather thick. We need the ellies to come do some damage here and open it up a bit. They seem to be very good at destruction lately. Like I said, they even pulled out our borehole. But it's okay. Was on the job, got it fixed, and we have water again, so that's a good thing. Oh, Mary, thank you. You're a superstar. So, folks, if you do want to see that whole cheetah scene unfold from start to finish, it was the 4th of August's sunset drive that is saved on the actual YouTube channel. So if you go back, you'll actually see, you know, from start to finish, when we first found the actual cheetah, followed them for like 20 minutes, and then the hunt kind of unfolded. You can go check it out on the YouTubes. Some tracks here. Oh, okay, that's a cool one to show you. This is one of my favorite tracks. It's quite a, it's not something we get to see too often on Game Drive, just because they are nocturnal. Let me do that. All right, folks. I don't know if Basil can see what track I'm looking at. So there's this one. Is it picking up?
Yeah.
All right, so this is the front foot, and then there's a back foot here. But one really key distinct marking about this said track is this. I don't know if you can, folks, make out all the lines here that are being scraped in the ground. Does it look semi-okay? You can pick them up, eh? Okay. Now that is the distinguishing feature of the animal that made these tracks. Now, I'll give you guys a minute to guess what it is. It is a nocturnal creature. We don't get to see them all too often. There was a resident one at Hayes a couple of months back until he decided to go explore the rest of the reserve. Just checking to see if there's any other interesting tracks. Seems to be just Dacre. All right, well, I hope someone guessed what tracks those were, but if you didn't or didn't know what they were, those, folks, are porcupine tracks. Really, really cool tracks they make with those. So those lines, those drag marks you see in the sand are actually their quills dragging on the floor behind them as they're walking. I find that super cool about that track. One of my favorite tracks, that's for sure. Now, you know, if you had to tell 15-year-old me that I would like looking at animal footprints, you know, I'd laugh. I'd be like, what are you on about? Sound crazy. And like, now it just gets me psyched, especially when you see like nocturnal creatures tracks or your big cats and your ellies and rhinos. Always exciting, especially when you see a crisp, sharp track. That for me is, yeah, amazing. It's always exciting. brown hyena. Walked along here last night. Alright, just check if there's any questions. Porcupine, porcupine, porcupine. Mary, Betty, Barbara, correcto. I'm very impressed. Very impressed. Now, I don't know if you all saw on our socials, on our Instagram story and our app, Tracking Tuesday came out this afternoon. Did all of you guys guess the right birds? I thought I'd switch it up from tracks for a week, just change it up, you know, so it doesn't become too repetitive. And then who knows, maybe next week I do skin textures again, or something else. I'll come up with something. Try and keep it new and fresh. But what is new and fresh is it's nice to be searching this side of the reserve, which we don't come to all that often. A lot of the times all the action is based in the south, and you know, where the animals go we go type thing. But obviously in doing so, consistently being in the south, you don't get to explore all the other beautiful parts of the reserve. And it is such a beautiful reserve. So I want to start showing more of it off. Even if it means we're going to leave the lions for a day. But we're going to head to Seskan Crypt now, just to see if those rhino are still there, because if they're fighting, I think that'll be really interesting and cool to see. So there's two bulls at the moment still, clearly, because we saw them a while back, maybe a month or two back, fighting for territory, because the resident bull that did reside in that territory, he unfortunately left the reserve. He went to a new reserve, just to obviously change up the genetics and make sure that, you know, they're not breeding with their siblings or their... Huh? What tracks? So just obviously for genetic diversity, we had to change it up every now and then. Good spot, Basil. Those are some cool tracks. I don't know if you can make out these tracks here, folks. I'm going to use a blade of grass as my pointer stick. Crispy clear is what I like to hear. Now, I don't know, Basil, can you get this one in? It's going to be, it doesn't need to be crisp, just to show the size. All right, so folks, take a look at that. You can see this is quite a wide track, almost as big as the palm of my hand. So this is the front foot. Now this is the back foot. And they're quite similar in size. So this tells me that this was a spotted hyena. If it were a brown hyena, the back track would be a heck of a lot smaller than the front paw, and also the front paw just wouldn't be as big. You know, a spotted hyena is quite a large animal, and a brown hyena, the largest of animals. I mean, not much smaller than the brown hyena. It's more just, oh. All right, let's get out of here. Holy cow. Let me make sure I'm in the safe zone. Sorry everyone, I've just realized now why they've closed the block, and I would like to be safe this afternoon. Come on, Google Earth. Right, here we go. So now I have to keep comparing.
Two male cheetahs on the southern flank. They're moving west towards Naden.
You joking? Murphy's Law, everyone. Yeah, no, I'm all good. Thanks, Joe. Well, we're not going that way, that's for sure. We are going to U-turn, folks. Rather safe than sorry. All right. Well, I think the Ellies, they were supposedly somewhere close by here, but I think they've already cut across into that block. And also with those sounds in the distance, I don't want to be headed that direction. It seems a bit hectic. Now, what I was about to say is what has just been called in is my gut being correct, and the Cheetah brothers had headed east towards Hayes, but now they headed back west, which is crazy. I mean, like, you know, the one day I decide to go up Hoofpad and not the fence line, was that just a decker? Well, not just a decker, but a decker. Oh yes.
Mobile, standing by.
God. So one thing we are very actually fortunate to have is an abundance of Dacre. Our Dacre population is quite high, and so is our giraffe population. Quite spoiled with giraffe, actually. Surprises me we haven't seen one, but I mean we've seen some beautiful herds of impala and zebra. The kudu was a nice treat, but I mean my highlight for the afternoon so far is that waterbuck. I am perplexed. I'm honestly still shocked that I've been here for over a year and have not seen a waterbuck. So that's definitely taken the cake for me. Sorry, Basil. It's starting to make me wonder if there's a glitch in YouTube. This. Okay. Fabulous. Fabulous. Very cryptically, Andrew. Mary. I don't know, what does cryptically mean? Like secretive. I don't know. Cryptically? Not critically. But you know, sometimes, Mary, you have to, you know. You got to. I think I know what you mean. I think I know what you mean about cryptically, and sometimes, you know, it's just better not to bring things up or keep certain things not hidden, but just in the background, not focus on those things. My main focus at the moment is getting back to the southern fence line and hopefully bumping into our cheetahs. Oh, sorry, emerald spotted wood dove. Now there's porcupine tracks everywhere. Everywhere. There was an abundance of porcupine on the reserve last night. I think every road has porcupine tracks. Some old scat. I thought it was leopard, but it was just severely old leopard scat, which isn't going to help us find a leopard. But who knows? I'm hoping with our luck not being able to go into that side of the reserve for once and actually sticking to this eastern corner, I'm hoping our luck might change.
Good afternoon, Dean Mobile, copy the update, thanks Chris.
Just going into four-wheel drive, everybody, so we don't get stuck in the thick sand. But I mean, how perfect is this for a leopard? Like, honestly, this is incredible. You know, you've got a deep drainage that takes you straight to the river. Well, what am I saying? The dam, which is just around that bend actually. And then to this side, you've got a giant rocky little outcrop, perfect places to hide under rocks and things like that. And oftentimes you'll find leopard use the banks to their advantage. They'll actually, a lot of the time, especially in things like Botswana and Tanzania, where there's countless little riverbeds like this, the leopards will actually go, say there's a herd of impala up there, the leopards will actually leopard crawl, believe it or not, and they'll crawl along the bank like this and basically sneak around the impala and use the bank to their advantage to stay concealed. Now, looks like elephants have been down the bank there. What is that? Someone's lost a toe cap. A tow bar cap. I don't know. Some sort of plastic cover. Post that onto the sightings group later. Maybe someone wants that back. Alrighty, hold on, Basil. So, oftentimes people will fly up a hill like this, but Brent taught me something very interesting this morning. And he said one of the reasons that the roads do get so bad are because people think they need to go quickly up a very steep embankment when really they should be doing the complete opposite. So the faster you go, the more your tire spins and it actually kicks out the stones and rocks behind you. Whereas if you're going slow, it doesn't do that as much. So you technically not saving the road, but saving the road. Now,
Kevin getting mobile, any updates?
let's just turn this down for now.
Afternoon, Kevin. 2 lemon stations on Lowveld. Elephant herd was mobile north on Seskan South.
Oh, the only thing I'm not sure about this side of the reserve is there are countless drainage lines and 2 tracks that end up being dead ends. So I don't want to, and they're quite long 2-track roads as well, but you get to a dead end and you have to drive all the way back up. So I just want to make sure we stay on the main road, because that'll also help us get to the cheetah. Is this the main road? Indeed it is the main road. Now the other day Basil and Joe were out teaching Joe the camera and teaching Joe the ropes, and we ended up bumping into the lion pride just around this bend. Actually, there's a bend coming up shortly, and they made themselves quite comfortable on top of a termite mound. Pity that they were very sleepy full cats that morning. as the one they did not raise their head at all. So, you know, for the photograph part of it, it didn't end up being so successful, but you know, finding them nonetheless is always special. Love this pride of lions. Slowly starting to understand each and every one's unique personality, who's cheeky, who's not. Same with the elephants. It's like the one with the inverted tusk. She's the cheekiest by far, besides Cheeky Chops, the small bull who normally causes all the trouble. Dentine is often the second troublemaker. And she's definitely one I'm most wary about. The others are generally quite well behaved.
Leading this to my cheetah, still moving west, open north.
Alright. I'm going to pick up the pace just a little bit, everyone. Secretly. Oh, okay, well, thank you, Mary. Right, no, so we weren't being shot at, but I don't know, this is a topic there's always someone who's going to badmouth the topic, but yes, they are currently hunting because we've got too high a population of impala. They are culling at the moment, and it does happen on most reserves when there's an abundance of animals and the reserve reaches the carrying capacity. Carrying capacity is basically how many animals of each animal you can have within a certain span of land. Because we've only got such a small reserve, 6,000 hectares, you know, that's not a lot of land. So the carrying capacity, that's why we've only got so many lions, so many elephants. But if the herbivores get out of hand and deplete all the vegetation, you know, then they're going to start getting hungry themselves, and so they often have to just make sure the population is at bay. But yeah, like I said, that's why I was being a bit cryptic. I don't really like the topic too much. There was a hornbill, a yellow-billed hornbill. Oh, do you? Oh, fabulous. Epic shot, Basil. Well done. Awesome light coming through that beak. Now, they'll eat anything from geckos, dung beetles, snakes. I've seen a yellow-billed hornbill eat a juvenile yellow-bellied sand snake. It went down like it was a little grub, like a little worm. It was quite impressive, actually. I won't lie. I was quite amazed. Took a step back, jaw dropped. I was like, oh, that just happened. But you'll often find them in the road in rhino middens. Perfect leopard area. Yes, Mary, it is. And that's why I'm thinking I'm going to stay in this area and almost loop the block, if you will, just to see if, when we loop back to roads we've driven on, see if there's no fresh tracks that have come back out onto the road. Because if they are on top of our tire tracks, we know they're fresh, like fresh. She is the one that pulled out the borehole. Indeed, I saw that footage, Mary. And I said one word, well, 3 words. I said, I'm not surprised it was Dentine. I'm not going to lie, like I said, she's a bit cheeky. But they're all offers. I love them all, even when they are cheeky and give you attitude. Just listen to that, everyone. Gorgeous Tuesday afternoon, and not a sound but the wind. and a rattling testicular in the very, very far distance. Ariana, I agree with you. I agree with you. It's just every time, you know, I mentioned it while I was working in the Pilanesberg, oftentimes people would get offended and prefer not to speak about it. Yeah, used to the old ways. But it's very important, and also it's good for conservation, but it's also good for local communities, because yes, Betty, they do give the farm workers and the local surrounding people some of the meat. Some of it will also go to the doggos, and yeah, so it gets put to good use. Oftentimes, you know, the locals will actually come help with the whole process, so they can pick which parts of the meat they want. And yes, it is a very important part of conservation. So speaking of porcupine, someone was digging for bulbs and roots last night. I don't know if you can see this, I'm not actually sure. This looks like an old mother's tongue. A mother-in-law's tongue, sorry. That has very much died off, and the bulb is all that's left. But in the dry seasons, porcupines, warthogs and things will dig up things like such, in hopes that there's still a bit of moisture in there and also some nutrients for them as well. This is quite an old one though, so I don't know if it was picked at and realized, oh no, it's quite fraught. So I don't think anyone's coming back for this one anytime soon. Alrighty, back to the search. We have the same deer here in the US. So Betty, that's exactly where I'm saying, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but, you know, from past experience, whenever I've brought that up or mentioned it, you know, it definitely oftentimes gets taken the wrong way. So that's why I try and avoid it, but I mean, you know, kind of hard to avoid it when there's gunshots like 900 yards away from you. But that's also why I chucked a quick U-turn. You never know if they hits a tree and pops to the left, ricochets. Rather safe than sorry. That's why we did an immediate U-turn and got out of there as quickly as possible. Thank goodness for that. And like I said, in a positive way, we're in this area, very, very suitable habitat for leopard. Possibly the pride is in this area as well. I haven't seen tracks of them yet, but you know, these animals can move. On a cooler day like it was today, they definitely probably were moving. Lots of drainage lines, perfect for leopard. Lots of riverbeds as well for them to move through. And I know leopards are particularly fond of scent marking guarri trees, especially magic guarris, and well, all guarris for a fact. And there's quite an abundance of them. Now this is a guarri tree. Now, one thing that's pretty cool, if you are ever stranded in the bush and you need a toothbrush. I'm not going to break it because I don't want to break it just for the sake of breaking it. If I had to do this every time I guided, you know, there'd be no magic guarris left. But as you can see, it's an evergreen, so there's always moisture in here. Now, what the locals use these for is they'll actually grab bunches of it and bundle it together and actually use it as a fire beater to fight fires and put fires out. But what a lot of people do as well is if you snap off a branch, say like quite a thick stem branch like that, snap that off, and then at the base where you've snapped it off, put it on a rock and hit another rock against it till you get smooth fine fibers, and that's actually kind of like a natural toothbrush, if you will. Quite nifty, obviously not the most sanitary toothbrush, but it's better than nothing, you know. Only got one set of teeth. We're not elephants, we don't have 6, so we've got to take care of them if we can. And what you can use as toothpaste is charcoal from a fire. Also adds to teeth whitening. It's a good thing in 2 ways. Right, so we're not going that way because that's the way things were flying. The bullets were flying. Now, I'm hoping that my gut is correct and they're going to be where we pop out on the fence line, because there's a perfect tree for them. Perfect tree. And they are currently headed west. So we are currently headed south. We're going to the southern fence line, but west would be moving in that direction. But it's also very weird because that is actually west. But because we are on the southern fence line, if an animal is moving up or down the fence line, and because it's called the southern fence line, it can only be going east or west, up or down. So it's a bit confusing considering that the sun is setting there, but that is true west. That is fence line west. But the whole western fence line is behind haste, and if an animal's going up that fence line, it's either north or south. I don't know if I'm making too much sense, but if I'm not, don't stress, because half the time I don't even understand it still. Sometimes I get very confused and my call-outs go to shambles, which is not really a good thing, but we always make do and always get the message across eventually, even if I have to be like the animal's walking towards the airstrip instead of saying it's just going north, you know. Eventually get the message across. It's definitely cooling down now as the sun's setting, but still, me, who's particularly a sissy in the cold, absolutely perfect temperature. So I'm hoping the odds are in our favor for tonight. I'm slowly starting to get a good feeling, especially because there is a bit of a breeze picking up now, and leopards will often use the wind to their advantage. On a very windy day, all the scents are flying around, so it confuses herds of impala, and you know, they use that to their hunting advantage because they don't necessarily have to now be downwind the whole time from the antelope. They can come upwind or from the side. They can pretty much cover any direction they want to. So they definitely do use that to aid their hunt and hopefully make it a bit more successful. Just always good to, every now and then, even if we're not following tracks, always good to just poke your head down on the ground and just have a look, you know. Something I'm still really dying to see is wild dog tracks running around the reserve. One day. Hopefully very soon. The bonding's going very well, so should just be a matter of time now. So hopefully soon we will be able to release them. But I am also always trying to keep my eye out for tiny cat footprints. You know, I wouldn't mind trying to track, not necessarily find, because, you know, we're still yet to track and find a leopard on live. I've done it once, especially with these leopards, because they're very skittish. So I've done it once, but find like some small cats, like your serval, your caracal, African wildcats, you know, even those cats are just extraordinary. I've seen 2 servals since I've been on Rietspruit. I have not, however, seen a caracal. All right. That looks like there's a cruiser on that side of the fence. But we are going in the right direction. Now, I think the cheetah are right there because that game viewer has staffed. Oh, Mary, I 1000% agree with you. 1000% agree with you. Sure. I have mad respect for Gareth and Brent reading these comments, driving, using the radio, and guiding. And looking for animals. Quite the multitasking situation right here. I don't think we're doing too badly. It's just hard to keep the car straight. Ah, the green of the Magic Quarry, Mary, especially at sunset and sunrise, just exquisite. Really does stand out. Nice to see you in the driver's seat for a pack drive, Andrew. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. I hope you take care. Thanks for joining. Good luck at work, and we'll hopefully see you very soon. Everyone's so kind. I love it. I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful. You know, always get a bit more stressed for the YouTubes. Station on lock with the cheetahs. I'd like to make my way. Never mind. So they haven't stopped for cheetah. They've stopped to have a fat discussion. But I think our elephant bull is on the left. When we first started, Sammy, your champion. Just gonna have a quick word with Sammy here, folks. Sammy! Oh, it's Lovers! Good afternoon, sir. Afternoon, folks. You guys having a good afternoon? Fabulous. Where this skunk gone?
I think they're from more
Is
ways.
it?
Yeah, I don't tell her them.
Where did you come, Snail Lane?
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing. I think they're from more. Renee is telling me that go more west. So that's why I'm turning back.
Eesh. Not yet. We're gonna go check on them though. We're gonna go check on them. Oh, well, there's a skunk on.
Is that Skankan? I think the Skankan is ours.
No, other side.
Yeah, that's a Skankan.
They're often together though.
No, I think Renee said they were here. That, when I came here.
Oh, you said Snail Lane headed west.
Yeah. So they're from that side.
Ish.
Let's try them.
Cheers, folks. Have a good one. I hope you liked your photos, lovers.
Thank you.
Well, folks, it's not our cheetah, but the cheetah can be ticked off the box here. Lovers is doing a U-turn as well, so it's the perfect excuse to just pull over to the right here and just actually have a squiz. How's it, everybody? Have you been here long? Okay, I was about to ask if you've seen our ones.
Yeah, he keeps on looking that side.
That's exactly, that's why I'm wondering if they're not maybe nearby. Hey, big boy. All right, well, let's just pull over here and we'll wait for Lovers to go past. But look at that light on his face. That is incredible. Always a treat, even if it is through the fence. Sometimes, you know, we take what we can get. He's staring quite intently. So I don't know if those cheetah were walking with him, and then, oh my gosh, look at those eyes. How awesome is that, everybody? That is crazy. Having a cheetah walk past your vehicle like this one's doing now is just one of the greatest feelings ever. Heart racing, big cat next to your vehicle. What more could you want? Such a beautiful cat as well, those spots. And my gosh, do they aid in camouflage. If those cheetah were laying, oh, coming back now. What's he up to? It's looking quite intent. As you can see, the head always popping up, those ears consistently turning. Always play it cautious. Always play it cautious. Obviously, cheetahs being lowest ranked predator in the food chain, you know, getting chased off their own carcasses by things like vultures or even, and in a very rare instance, crocodiles. There was a sighting in the Pilanesberg the other day that happened. You know, it doesn't surprise me they're so alert all the time. Sure, there's a lot of vehicles responding here. So what I'm going to do, folks, is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pass this male cheetah. You can see there's quite a few vehicles incoming. Now, I don't want to, you see what, they mustn't leave the animal space. So you can see now that this cat is already turning around. It's blocked. Are you going to go through the gap? Are you going to brave it? All right, I think what we're going to do is, while he scent marks that bush and goes past these cruisers, I'm going to go up ahead and do a bit of a U-turn, and hopefully we can see what we can see if he comes back this way. But, you know, to have him walking towards us, I see our elephant Poole, so we'll go look at him just now. Let's just spend a couple more minutes with this cheetah, this male cheetah on the fence line, that is. Oh, it's cutting away now. Damn. Murphy's Law. See, these tracks look fresher than when we drove up this road. I went that way. Oh, just pull off the road quick for Lovers. And Konzo that way.
Yeah.
Right, so it looks like that cheetah has moved off, unfortunately, folks. So we'll go look at our elephant Poole in the meantime. But it looks like Lovers and I are going to kind of tag team and try and relocate these two cheetah boys. Our boys, that is, not that side's cheetahs. But finally, the first layer is getting put on as the temperature is now dropping. As soon as that sun hits the horizon, you know, temperature drops dramatically. And like I said a bit earlier, I am a bit of a sissy when it comes to the cold. I feel like I'm technically should be legally qualified to say that I'm allergic to the cold, but we're not. But boy, do we suffer from the cold quite a bit. If there's any crackling with the mic, just let me know, Basil. Perfecto.
Warren on Slowbunk, not sure what's been off my vehicle.
I think you're number 4. I'm sure.
You're number 5, I hope you didn't go sprinting somewhere. Copy that, thanks Kevin.
Gorgeous evening though, like I said, beautiful day, clouds cleared up quite nicely. Oh, thank you Betty, I appreciate that. I would love to do more pack drives if I can, you know, if they still think, if Brent and Gareth think I'm doing a good enough job, must be doing something partially right, but you know, still trying to improve every day. You know, I want to become as good a guide as possible, as good as possible. And you know, that's one thing. That's why I do try and track and find all these things, just to keep that experience up and keep your knowledge of what a fresh track looks like compared to a day-old track, compared to like a week-old track. You know. It's all about the practice, so you got to consistently keep at it, otherwise, you know, that's going to fade. It's like anything. If you don't practice something for ages, after practicing it for years, you tend to forget one or two things. Like I'm a scuba diving instructor, but I wouldn't teach people, that's for sure. I would need a refresher course in that. Like I've been diving since I became an instructor, but you know, by the time we were going overseas to teach people, COVID happened, and then I ended up becoming a guide. So for me, things happen for a reason, that's for sure. Also, that's Mary, that was my justification to why that cheetah from the BCC side kept looking this way. You know, I had a suspicion that it might have been the two boys, but apparently they were seen headed going west now. So I don't know if someone's confusing their directions or something, but look, I mean, have a look at this, folks. This is a conundrum we have over here. Absolute shambles. These cheetah tracks are. Absolute shambles. So, let's just run through how we know it is cheetah tracks. I think the best example is this one, Basil. Can you get it here? Just move the grass. Can you see it okay? So I don't know if you can see with this track here, everyone. It's a lot smaller in comparison to that of a lion or a leopard. And with a lion track is quite broad at the base of the track. Standing by, lovers. Copy that, thanks, I'll be there in 2. The gut was right, folks. Lovers has just located the 2 cheetahs. They're about 150 yards to the west of us. But just back to the tracks quick. So at the back here, I'm going to do a speed tracking course here. So at the back, if it were a lion, it would be quite broad. Well, it would be very broad actually. And if it were a leopard, the track would be a lot more circular in shape. Now you can see this is actually the back pad here. And you can see the 3 little divots, implying it's a cat, because cats have the 3 pads at the back, whereas if it was a hyena or a wild dog, it would have 2. Now, you can see that this back pad is severely squished, and the track itself is quite slender and elongated. Telltale sign that it's a cheetah is here. Now, I'm not going to touch the sand because I don't want to destroy it, but do you see that, Basil? This tiny little indent above this toe? You do. So that is from their semi-retractable claws. So cheetahs don't have fully retractable claws, so there's often just the tip of a nail over each toe, and that's what's causing these little indents. So there'll always be a little dot above each toe. So that's typical, and that's really how you distinguish cheetah. But you see, in softer sand like this looks a lot more round. But this too is a cheetah track. It's just the substrate. So obviously heavy animal, softer sand, it's going to be spread wider than obviously substrate like that. But awesome to see, and now we know where they are. You know, they say follow your gut, and Andrew always doubts his gut, but sometimes the gut is right. Did I not tell you Murphy's Law, Basil? They're going to be at the airstrip side. Yeah. Just before we started, I even left like 20 minutes early to try and start tracking and find these cheetahs for the drive this afternoon. Hoping, you know, that they'd comply with us. I should have started just on the southern fence, but, you know, I thought because they were called in this morning at Nyala Ruta that they were a bit more to the east of us. So that was my theory behind it, and I ended up just continuing with the gut, but the gut was secretly telling me that they were this side. Aha! See our cheetah. And look at that for a sunset, folks. That is... It doesn't get much better than this, everyone. We'll go to the cheetah now, but I mean... Yeah, sorry, Basil, I don't think I'm going to get a gap. Or do you? See if I go down a tiny bit further. It might just be a gap here. That's the best I'm going to do, eh? Now, how's that as a sight for sore eyes, everybody? And now, for the moment we have waited for about an hour and a half now. Sure, time flies when you're having fun. So what I'm going to do is they're moving up the fence line here. So I am going to pull off to the side here so they can come straight past us. But I'm also contemplating if we shouldn't go back because there's that tree. Oh, but the tree's quite the distance back. No, I think we'll be fine here. Oh, sorry, Basil, I've parked you on an uneven surface. Now this is really awesome because they are going to literally come right past us. And you can see the brother trying to play catch up over there. absolutely awesome. You can see, like I mentioned with that last cheetah, consistently turning of heads, sorry Basil, consistently turning their heads, consistent ear flaps, you know, consistently alert. And that's also one of the reasons that they are able to get away from all these other predators, because they are so consistently alert. What was that noise? Was that the cheetah? That? Yeah, that's weird though. I've never heard that sound from a cheetah. I don't know, folks, if you could make that out. Oh, 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 oh. Why are you going this way now? I'm going to just duck so I can be out of Basil's way. Listen to that, everyone. Am I still in the way?
No.
Fabulous. I don't know how long I can be this flexible for. Oh, and here's brother in the road here. Oh wow, this communication is unreal. I've heard a cheetah chirp, but I've never. They're not growling, but they're not. It's like some form of a purr, which I find quite incredible. I don't know if you can make it out on my microphone, but wow, everyone, how lucky are we? Patience is a virtue. That's one thing that took me very long to learn. Brother's playing catch up again. Now I wonder where the elephant bull went. He must have just cut into the bush. I saw him along the fence line and he's now vanished. Wonder if he got tired of the fence line. Now where are you kitty cats going? Shout when you see them. Oh, there's one. There. Seen something. Where the brother is, I have no clue. Can you hear them growling again though? It's like a poo. Poo. I'm obviously not a cheetah, so I'm not making the exact correct sound, folks, but you know, just to give you an idea, like a poo. That one was a good one. That was a semi-decent example. What is he doing? He's picked up some sort of scent. You can see he's deeply indulged in trying to figure out what scent it is, whose it is. Now, there you go, cheetah chirp. And look what's coming up on our right here. So that chirping has now alerted the cheetah male on the other side. And you can see he's slowly making his way up here. Very interested into who was chirping. Is that our elephant bull now up there? That's a tree. How incredible is that though, that this cheetah heard the chirp from over 100 yards away and still heard it and ended up coming this way. It's remarkable. So we were all right with our gut, wondering if the boys were near. They were indeed. So he's going to consistently stop and look if he picks up any sort of sound. Anything he thinks might be our two cheetah boys. Absolutely gorgeous colours on this one though. He's got quite an orangey coat to him. I agree with you, Mary. You know, having your favourite jackets is always a plus. And, you know, take it with you wherever you go. Oh my gosh, walking right past the car. Look at that. Obviously there's a fence, but regardless, a cheetah just walked past our car. Crikey. I see our boys, I think. They might have crossed Hoofpad already. But I mean, boy, 3 different cheetahs in one afternoon is not a shabby afternoon. You know, take what we can get by all means. If you want to just sprinkle on top a leopard for us, nature, now would be the time. Yo, can you imagine? So back when we were shooting That's Wild, it was the first ever episode and everyone was so stressed, you know, setting up, making sure everything's on time. And of course Brent and Matt went out and they ended up bumping into the 2 cheetah brothers on the fence line towards the airstrip still. Now, believe it or not, out of nowhere, boom, leopard comes charging out of the bush. 2 cheetah run, scatter, this leopard chases after. It was mind-boggling. I saw it from the back of a computer, but you know, to witness something like that, or to even just capture something like that on camera, you know, it doesn't happen every day. So those are the moments you really got to take in and appreciate. So is it me or is this one just chirping now? So I've turned the engine off, folks, just to see if we can't. Listen to that. It's ridiculous. I'm going to put us in neutral, see if we can't still freewheel forward as it's downhill. Oh no, don't trot away now. Just think keeping the engine off might just let the microphone pick up the audio of the chirping. Basil, I'm quite impressed with the momentum we're getting at the moment. Uh-huh.
Can do it. Come on.
I'm trying. We're on a flat now, everyone. But if Basil zooms out, you'll see this cheetah's just up ahead now, but still keeping an eye out to the right. Now, see if we can't go a tiny bit closer. Yeah. Oh no, you put that on camera. Yes, the car shan't move, so I shall move it. I thought we were strong enough.
The runner with one in charge.
Copy that. Where are you going? Just taking my earpiece out quick. I can hear something through this block. Can't make out what though. Let's do a U-turn in the meantime, because I think the obvious thing would be he changed directions because he either heard those two cheetah chirping or picked up via eyesight. Managed to get a glimpse, but watch, I have a gut feeling that as soon as we go this way, he's gonna come back this way. Copy. Alright, nice and slowly here. You can see he's trotting again. I think the cheetah boys might have decided to go flat in this block. No, it's just, oh, here you go, they're coming out. Right here, look at this, this is crazy. Look at the behavior of this cheetah on the right here. I don't know if you'll get it, Basil. Oh yeah, you will. Look at how it's already gone down, quite submissively, head down, posturing down. You know, 2v1 is not a very fair game, but showing a bit of respect for these two cheetah on the left. Oftentimes we hear them hissing at one another. Isn't that just remarkable? Look at that. Oh, there you go. Oh, you see, so this is aggressive behavior. If this fence wasn't here, I think they would fight, in all honesty. I mean, the fact that the cheetah on the other side just tried to hit the fence, I think, says it all. Oh, we are spoiled. I say I'm going to cry way too often, but yeah. 3 cheetahs, 1 sighting, beautiful sunset. What more can you ask for? Well, I mean, our original plan we started with eventually ended up coming through. So, check that off the to-do list. Or a dove imitation. Oh, does the sound compare with the sound? Betty, no, it's more, oh wow, look at that, rolling in the dust. It actually sounded nothing like a house cat purr. It more sounded like out of this worldly, kind of. Oh, look at that. You see, that is aggressive posturing from our males and very submissive posturing from that male on the other side. What I'm going to do here is turn the car like this. How's that, Basil? Get all three in shot. My gosh, the triple trifecta. Oh, Mary, I try to show emotion as much as possible, especially the excitement. Roly-polies. Like, I mean, how cool is this? There's 3 cheetahs in one sighting, all roly-polying. Flat cats. Crazy how they've kind of separated themselves as well. But remarkable. Really, really is quite phenomenal. I thought I just heard a branch break. Oh my gosh, look at those eyes. That amber is just... I don't think anything quite beats it there. What was that? Copy that. Yes, Basil, good filming here, bro. It's a pretty awesome shot. I think quite amazing, like such a peaceful, quiet evening. Just 3 cheetahs, completely relaxed. I mean, the brothers technically look like they are one with each other, even though they're separated by feet. I can hear a lion roaring in the vast distance. Now, one thing on a cheetah's face for me is those teardrops. They really just, I don't know, they bring out a sense of emotion in the cat, if you will. Love this pink color now. Adds gorgeous contrast. Sun's just gone down below the horizon. Temperature should start dropping properly now. But it is, however, quite light, which is quite nice. Take full advantage of that. There we go, cheetah brother on the move again. That other cheetah's gonna get up. That's just... Are you hearing something to the left? That one wasn't a gunshot though. That sounded like an elephant breaking a branch. I hope it's not a gunshot. We might be in a bit of trouble then. Alrighty. So folks, I think there's a couple minutes left of drive. I think
Poole on the east edge of the drainage line and then cars along the road.
I think what we'll do is, for the remainder of drive, spend as much time with these boys as possible, because I have a sneaky suspicion tonight they might head back into Kaya, just because it sounds like the lions are moving south. They haven't been found this afternoon, but I mean, just from that roaring I heard a couple of minutes ago, sounds like they're coming closer towards us, not getting further. Now, just up ahead here on the left, these boys used to love one of the termite mounds, and they often were perched up on there. And I think that's exactly where they're going to go, and they might just sit on top of it for us. Joe, can you hear me? Okay, copy. No, I just wanted to make sure TeamSpeak was working. Thanks. Copy. So just here to the left is the termite mound, but it doesn't look like they're very interested in it today. This for Basil. You can see he's probably going to scent mark against that tree. Yeah, trying to just show these two boys that that's his turf. How's that light though? My gosh. Here we go. Oh, you can see he's keen to catch up with the boys. Are you going to go to Hoofpad, you cheeky cats? Or are you going to stay headed east? Oh, no, you're going to go flat. You're going to fall in the long grass and just vanish. Crazy, look at that though. As soon as it's flat, oh my gosh, you can't even see the thing. So we won't stay with the cheetah too much longer. We'll have one last little view, because I don't like keeping, as guides, we don't like keeping lights on cheetah after dark, just because it exposes them and they become a lot more vulnerable. But I mean, they look quite energetic. And do you think they have ants on their back? Maybe they're just very itchy, but I mean, the male on the right is also doing this. Maybe they are scent marking. See how they're rubbing their face into the ground as well. Preorbital glands.
I saw one of them had a bloody spot under the chin.
Which one? One of these two?
Yeah.
So then they must be from the kill the other day. Unless they managed to catch something else. Oh. Copy that. Look at this. Right up next to the vehicle. What are you doing? Definitely picked up the scent of something right here next to our vehicle. Whoops. Sorry, buddy. It just amazes me how calm and relaxed these cats can be. Truly. Look at this. This cheetah is no more than 5 meters from the car, if that. Having the absolute time of its life as well. Oh, you're going back that way now. All right. Well, so this male on the other side has already gotten up, so we'll just wait for our last male to get up, and then I think we're going to leave them be here, everyone. They have really spoilt us, so I think only fair to leave them be. Alrighty, folks. Fortunately, that does bring us to the end of this beautiful pack drive. Just a friendly reminder again, the keyword of the week is claw to get your high resolution print. And from my side and Basil, take care, have a good week, and we shall see you very soon. Bye for now, everyone.